Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Bastian Weekly, your source for news on roles we're recruiting, recruitment in general, supply chain, and technology. So, in terms of roles, a couple I wanted to mention on this week's episode. We've got a major account manager for a leading 4PL business here in Australia. Role is based in Sydney. If you've got a background in account management or key customer management and a little bit of BD, we'd love to talk to you about that role. We've got a sales director role position in Melbourne for a European headquartered ocean freight forwarding company that's looking to open an office here in Australia. So if you've got a background in business development and sales and ocean freight, we'd love to talk to you about that role. We've got a BDM role. We've actually got multiple BDM roles with a ag tech company that has a hardware software play in the IoT and fresh produce space. So if you've got a background in business development and you have a passion for tech and ag tech and produce, vegetables, fruit, things like that, we'd love to talk to you about that role. But we've got a senior project manager role, Sydney or Melbourne based. You do need to have intralogistics automation, commissioning, and installation experience with PLCs and HLCs and LLCs as well. That would be ideal. And then the final role I wanted to mention was a business development director role in Auckland, New Zealand for a APAC leading supply chain advisory business. So if you're based in Auckland, have a background in business development or sales, either in contract logistics or consulting, we'd love to talk to you about that role. Quick note on the recruitment side, the only thing I wanted to mention today was a report end of last week that unemployment fell across Australia here to 3.5%, which is quite low. Look, the market is softening. So the number of roles that we're recruiting are definitely down. Job ads that are being posted on job ad sites are down as well. But unemployment continues to be down too. So I think with the dynamic of what's happening at the moment is there's not a lot of staff to fill roles, hence there's a low unemployment rate. But some of the transformation or new roles or additional roles being recruited just aren't being done at the moment. So there's still not enough staff, but the stress around talent availability is just not what it once was, compared to 12 months ago. On the supply chain side, just a couple quick things, just out of interest in, general market conditions. The first one was a good news story here for anyone who likes watches. Rolex is significantly ramping up manufacturing footprint and their capacity across a number of sites to meet global demand, an increase in significant global demand. I'm not sure where that's coming from, but just thought that was interesting. An old iconic brand having a new revitalization, I thought it'd be worthwhile mentioning. And then the other kind of big issue happening in supply chain here domestically in Australia is the continued concern around the collapse of Scott's refrigerated logistics and the real impact around inventory waste, product availability, issues with drivers, issues with staff, what it means for growers and suppliers, what it means for retailers. There's definitely some chaos, not a lot of capacity left in the network for some of this inventory that needs to be moved or used. So it'll be interesting to see, and really, it's really sad to see, to be fair, how this all plays out over the coming weeks and months as well. It's really not a great spot, and I'm sure you've all been across this too. So that's it for us today. Any questions, concerns, leave them in the comment section below. Appreciate you guys taking the time to watch, and we'll see you next week. Cheers.